What is poppin', fam? Spanik here, coach of your Alabama Crimson Surf, and this is, I believe, week 5 of the UTL against Metagross and his Manhattan Metagross. And the mons he could have possibly brought are right over here. He made a trade after our battle. He traded Tapu Koko and another mon, I forget what it was, for I think it was Thundy. Yeah. So it's just so instead of Thundy here, he had Tapu Koko for our game. So he could have brought Megaladios, Tapu Koko, Kartana, Crook, Empoleon, Mimikyu, Braviary, Volcarona, Aselgor, Smeargle, Cryogonal. Was there anyone else there? Oh, those were his 2 trades. Okay, yeah. I forgot what his other mon was that he traded. But whatever, it's fine. It's not important. I think it was like a tier 5 or something. Something not really important. Just Tapu Koko for Thundy was the big one. As you can see, he does bring Tapu Koko here. And he does bring Kartana. Crocodile is always scary as hell. Braviary was a surprising bring. I didn't expect him to bring it. Empoleon I did expect, and Volcarona, that thing is just a menace. So naturally I did expect that beast to come. Here's what I brought to try to combat that. I have Scarf Zydos just because it outspeeds the entire team. I was thinking between Band or Dragon Dance or Scarf. I decided on Scarf, so I guarantee outspeed Tapu Koko, because there's no way he's running a Scarf Tapu Koko. There's just no way he's going to be running that. We have Celesteela with this battle was ages ago. I just really been pressed for time, so I really didn't have enough time to record this. I'm just getting around to it now because I have the time. So I don't remember most of my sets. The only thing, I think Celesteela is like a standard set, kind of like a bulkier set, probably for the likes of Kartana. Because what else does it really do this game other than wall Kartana, essentially? I have Utility Donphan. Meloetta was an interesting set. I brought Meloetta Pirouette this game. With Relic Song, so I could transform to Pirouette. Stone Edge, I completely forgot this thing got Stone Edge. Close Combat and a 4th move, I don't remember what it was. It may have been an Elemental Punch. I know I had Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Relic Song, though. Close Combat for Empoleon, Stone Edge to maybe catch the Volcarona off guard. I could potentially stay in base form and click Stone Edge and still do a ton of damage, because Meloetta in base form is pretty specially bulky. That guy's base 128 special defense. That's pretty good. It's higher than Primarina. So this thing can actually tank special hits, and that's why maybe I was thinking about staying in base form on the Volcarona, going for a Stone Edge. Because even though Meloetta has like base 75 physical attack, a Stone Edge is still quite effective against a Volcarona. That's going to do damage. And I have the Plan V Volk check, which was an unaware Clefable with HP Rock. Does end up coming in handy this game, though. Pretty much, from the start, I had a damage control against Volcarona setting up in my face. I really did not want that thing setting up in my face. If it's set up in my face, that's bad news. Because I really have nothing good to take on a Volcarona, except for maybe my unaware Clef. And I have Zydos, and Zydos does outspeed it at +1. And last mon's Mega Shark also can outspeed the Volcarona at +1. So essentially, I'm terrified of Volcarona. And also, I gotta pray that my Shark doesn't get Flame Body burned if I go for Waterfall on it. So that's essentially my team. Let's see how this battle played out. I lead with Donphan as he leads with Braviary. I didn't know what this thing wanted to do, so I tried to stay in just to get rocks up. He U-turns out into Kartana. I get rocks up. I did have the same tech I brought in the WNBA against No Johns. I had HP Fire on this Donphan. The issue was I didn't want to risk it. Because the way he brought in this Kartana screamed that it was either choice in some way or Focus Sash. I really didn't want to risk it. Because I was especially defensive variant of Donphan. So if he was like Choice Bandit or something, I couldn't take the Leaf Blade like I did in WNBA. WNBA, I was max Fizz Def on that Donphan. So that's why I easily took that Leaf Blade and fired off the HP Fire that nuked it. I still had this tech, but I didn't go for it here. Instead, I switch into Celesteela, because it just walls this thing until he sets up an SD in my face. He goes for the Sacred Sword. That really does nothing. I go for the Fire Blast. I hit. Reveals the Sash. Yeah, that crit mattered, alright. I just sack off my Celesteela here. I'm really not liking Celesteela. As I go into my Zydoge, able to pick off this Kartana nicely because I'm scarfed. He goes into Tapu Koko. I was pretty certain this was Sugar Berry. The way he brought this in on my Zydoge, he either A, thought I wasn't scarfed, or B, he Sugar Berry. Now here I was thinking about going into Donphan because I am Spadef. But I decide, if he Sugar Berry, does he live 1,000? If he Sugar Berry, he does live 1,000 arrows. Because I was jolly to outspeed Volcarona. But I decided to click 1,000 arrows here anyway. This could have... It was high risk, high reward, the play I made here to click 1,000 arrows on the Tapu Koko. Because if he was Sugar Berry, he just wrecks me with he just kills me with Dazzling Gleam. I decided to be a man, go for 1,000 arrows. He's not Sugar Berry. He probably... Because he's not Sugar Berry... Yeah, because he wasn't Sugar Berry, he probably didn't think I was scarfed. Because if you see in the chat here, he said, fuck, he didn't speed creep. So he's thinking immediately, I just ran max... he probably had some EVs at other areas on his Tapu Koko. So he probably just outsped my Zydoge, but he probably was in his speed boosting nature. So for now he thinks I was like just max speed jolly or something. But actually I am choice scarfed. So now he goes into Braviary. I calced it. I thought so I decided to pull a switch here in the Donphan, safest play, and that Brave Bird did way too much. I know it wasn't Fizz Def. I thought he was offensive here. Offensive definitely dies 1,000 arrows, but he lives. But the Braviary is going to kill itself with the recoil. So, fair trade there. I don't need Zydoge to win this game. Because at this point, it's looking like if he sets out... Because at this point, I realize, wait, my Pirouette Meloetta kind of just wins unless he's like Chitari on Volcarona. But even through Chitari, if I get the Pirouette, the Stone Edge should be able to still kill. Yeah, I was Adamant Choice Scarf. The Stone Edge, Claps predicted my set right. I was Adamant Choice Scarf. Max speed, max attack. He probably thought it was max speed Jolly. So yeah, now I'm thinking, if he sends out Empoleon here, I could set up a Relic Song and just proceed to win with my Pirouette Meloetta. He does set out Empoleon, and I'm thinking like, yes, I straight win here. So I go for the Relic Song, I'm able to get Pirouette, he defogs, and now I'm like, oh, so now if he's Chitari Berry on the Volcarona, he lives a Stone Edge. But that's fine, I still got my Mega Shark in the back, and I have Atri Rock and Clefable. So I do still have ways to beat the Volcarona. And I'm unaware Clef. So that's fine that he went for defog. I get the free switch. I get the free transition to Pirouette. I go for the close combat, and this is a dead Empoleon. Like, Jesus Christ, that did a ton of damage. And I missed a Stone Edge on Volcarona, so much for potentially sweeping there. Yep. So I'm able to kill the Empoleon. He goes on the Volcarona, and I miss a Stone Edge on it. So I was like, oh, really? So now instead of winning 3-0 or 2-0, I'm probably only... The miss is not going to matter, because the miss is not going to matter. It's only going to matter for diff. Just going to put this out there. I do end up winning this game, as you can see from my remaining Mons and his remaining Mons. Kind of obvious I do pull this one out. But that Stone Miss is really going to matter for diff. It turned a 3-0 win into a 1-0 win. So he goes to the Quiver Dance here. I just sack my Meloetta, because I missed the Stone Edge. It doesn't deserve to live. And now I go into the obvious answer, the Clefable. He goes to the Fiery Dance, sees it does nothing, so at this point he probably realizes I'm unaware. Look at that. That was a that's a +1 Spadef HP Rock, and he was Chitari Berry. So yeah, the Stone Edge wouldn't have killed. That's why I said it only mattered for diff. So the Stone Edge probably wouldn't have killed. But that's fine, though. That's fine. Because I was on overclock, that HP Rock did a ton. So now, I think I predict him to go in the Krook here, so I go for the Moonblast. But he doesn't go in the Krook. Now he goes in the Krook when I go for the HP Rock. But Volcarona is definitely in range of a Waterfall. He goes for Tectonic Rage here, just takes out my Clef. That's completely fine, because I just set up a Protect here, and it looks like my Mega Sharpedo is going to be, and it looks like Bruce Almighty here is going to be able to clean up the game. I say that miss only matter for diff, because if I got that Stone Edge off, I could have went into Shark immediately. Actually, no, I would have to go into Clefable anyway, because if he predicts the Protect right, I could have won the Shark immediately, and then in base form go for the Waterfall on his Quiver Dance predicting the Protect, or I could have just immediately won the Clef. Probably the safer play would have been immediately to go in the Clef, because I would have won 1-0 anyway. It's fine, it doesn't matter. The Stone Miss happened, I won the game still. I needed to win more than anything, because after Sean out-prepped the shit out of me last week, I definitely needed this W. So GG, Matt. 'Twas a fun one. Little hacks in your favor kind of spoiled the diff, but whatever. What are you going to do? It's Pokemon. Next week, we take on a familiar opponent. AJ and the Vancouver Psyducks. I'm fucked. And so I better bask in the glory of this win for a while, because AJ is going to give me some issues. I think he's currently undefeated. It'd be nice to get that W and pop his and spoil his undefeated stretch. But is it a stretch, though? We shall see next week. Spanic out, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.